everyone, and welcome to Faces and Heels, your podcast for professional wrestling here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and can you smell it? Can you smell it? It is WrestleMania season, and WrestleMania season is kicked off every single year with the Royal Rumble, and this year, the Royal Rumble will take place this Saturday, February the 1st, live on Peacock or on pay-per-view, wherever you get WWE's premium live event. This will be the very first time that the Royal Rumble will not take place in the month of January. We are getting it on February the 1st, and it seems like not a big deal. You know, it's just one day off, but it's kind of a monumental thing because it kind of throws off everything, being as though that the Royal Rumble will take place in February. WrestleMania will take place mid to late April. And now WrestleMania, which will take place on April the 19th and 20th, I believe those are the dates for that event. Yeah, it kind of throws everything off, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll be here before you know it. I mean, January is gone. January is gone. We are already in February, technically. I mean, boy, time is flying in 2025. But the Royal Rumble, which will take place in Indianapolis, Indiana, February the 1st, special start time. It's not going to be your typical 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central time. This will be a 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central time start time for this event. And that's also weird. You know, we are going to, the sun will still be up when this kicks off, at least around my neck of the woods here in southeastern Louisiana. So it's all good. My Saturday, as far as it stands right now, is pretty clear. So nothing should get in the way of the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble will consist of 4 matches this year. Of course, we have the women's Royal Rumble match, the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. We have the men's 30-men Royal Rumble match. We have 2 championship matches. We have a WWE tag team match, 2 out of 3 falls match between the champions DIY, which consists of, I should say, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They will be defending the tag team championships against Alex Shelley and Chris Sabian of the Motor City Machine Guns. This will be a banger. I am so excited for this tag team match. It's good to see that the WWE has invested or reinvested into the tag team division, a division that kind of has been suffering in the WWE over the past few years. Finally getting some respect put on the tag team division name. And I can honestly say I have not been this excited since the Attitude Era. And it's sad to say that I haven't been this excited since the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian and those epic TLC matches, you know, back in the day, back in my day, you know. So that's the last time I was truly excited about the tag team division in the WWE. Yes, we've had some good ones in between that. Yeah, the New Day. And that's about it. That's the only ones I can name off the top of my head right now. In between. But there have been some good tag team matches every blue moon. But lately, it has ramped up. And I'm excited for this match. And of course, we have the ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship, where the champion, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, will put that championship on the line against Kevin Owens in this ladder match. Of course, we have the undisputed belt and the Winged Eagle belt, which will be hanging above the ring. And this is a match that I didn't think I wanted to see, didn't think I wanted, but I definitely want. So those are the 4 matches for this premium live event. And that's all we need. It's still going to be about a 4-hour show, maybe a 3, but it wouldn't shock me if it goes 4 hours, and I wouldn't be mad at it neither. So we're going to go over these 4 matches. We're going to go over some predictions for these 4 matches, or at least what I think might come to fruition. And if you listen to this show long enough, you know that 9 times out of 10, it's not going to go the way that I think, which is fine. You know, I don't want to predict it. I don't want to be right. I want to be surprised and shocked and just godsmacked by what takes place at this premium live event, or any premium live event that WWE puts on Peacock. And I am super excited about the Royal Rumble, because that's why you watch it. You watch it for the shocks and the ahs, the surprises, the surprise entries. You know, we have 15, at least the time of this recording, we have 15 men who have declared for this 30-man Royal Rumble. And I am going to make a prediction on the 15 that have declared. Now, of course, one of the winners could be the other 15 that have not declared yet. You know, we have, as I mentioned, some surprises that will enter this match that we don't know. It can completely come out of left field. But just off of the 15 that we know for certain that are participating in this match, that's who I'm going to predict will win. Could be 100% wrong, but either way, I think we're in for a very, very star-studded and exciting men's Royal Rumble. So let's jump right in to this. Well, before we jump in, for all of you who probably been under a rock for, and no pun intended, not talking about Dwayne Johnson, but under a rock, a boulder, for the past 38 years. This is the 38th annual Royal Rumble. And how the Royal Rumble works: 30 men, and for the women, 30 women enter the match. They come in individually, I think 2-minute or 3-minute intervals, and they enter the match. There's no pinfalls, there's no submissions. The only way you're eliminated if you're thrown over the top rope. If you go between the ropes and hit the floor, you're still in the match, and both feet have to hit the floor when you're thrown over the top rope. So that's how the Royal Rumble match is executed. So going over the match, going over the men's, these are the 15 who have declared so far for this match. We have LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, main event Jey Uso, the original tribal chief Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, who is the United States champion. You have Logan Paul. Penta has entered the Royal Rumble. Chad Gable, Braun Breaker is in the Royal Rumble, and Carmelo Hayes have declared for the men's Royal Rumble match. My predictions is it's going to be, this is tough. And I've been scratching my head about this for the longest time, because when you make this prediction, this is who's going to main event WrestleMania. That's the other caveat I left out for those of you who don't know how this works. The winner of the Royal Rumble gets the main event at WrestleMania, challenging for their respective title. It can either be the undisputed WWE Championship, which is currently held by Cody Rhodes, and also the World Heavyweight Championship, which is currently held by Gunther. So you can choose either one of those championships to main event WrestleMania. Um, this is where this is what's exciting about WWE right now. For the past few years, especially under Vince McMahon, you knew at this point what the WrestleMania main event was. There was no intrigue, there was no suspense. You knew. The storytelling was, how can I say this? Lacking, to put it kindly. It really wasn't any intriguing storytelling being told under Vince McMahon for many years. And God bless him. I know he's persona non grata right now with these sexual assault and human trafficking allegations and charges that are pending against him. I'm not talking about Vince McMahon, the person, but Vince McMahon, the promoter, the chairman of the board of WWE. I'm a fan of him. I've been following WWF and WWE my entire life. I love the product, love pro wrestling. And, you know, it really, after the Attitude Era, after the fall of WCW, and Vince McMahon had no competition, it was really lacking. He didn't care. He was putting on matches for his amusement. And it suffered. The product suffered. That's when AEW came into play 5 years ago. And, I never really looked at them as a competitor to WWE, but AEW were doing a good job as an alternative. Now it's suffering. Now I don't too much care for AEW. I really don't watch it. I can really count on one hand how many times I've watched AEW programming, but as an alternative, I can see it. But WWE never looked at it as real competition. Neither TNA, but especially now because they have a working relationship. So when Triple H took over the reins at creative, things started to change. We started to get long form storytelling. And it's been a beautiful thing. The Bloodline storyline is great. Some of the mid-card storylines have been great. Even the lower tier storylines have been entertaining to a degree. And so it's been fun to watch it. Now you get your boring Raws, your boring SmackDowns spread out. I mean, it hasn't been perfect, but it has been intriguing. CM Punk returning, his story has been great. Drew McIntyre has been the unsung hero of WWE over the past, I would say, 5 years. Ever since he won the Rumble, I think in 2020. Yeah, it was the pandemic year, 2020, when he won the Rumble. Even a little bit before that, he has been doing God's work. He has really carried this company on his back, being a heel, being the in-betweener at times, the face and the heel, and holding the championship, going after Reigns, going after Punk. And that feud last year was the best feud in all of pro wrestling. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, great feud. Seth Rollins in the feud that he has with Roman Reigns and all that. Well, let me just say this. A lot of the storyline, even though there are individual storylines going on, they, in some shape, form, or fashion, link up to Roman Reigns. Everybody is gunning for Roman Reigns. And that's what makes this Royal Rumble so exciting, because everybody got a bone to pick with Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns has screwed over so many people, especially when he was the champ. And nobody has let that go, especially Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, I would say, is probably my dark horse to win the Royal Rumble, but it's so much more there for his story to be the hunter. I think that needs to keep going because he's so great at it. Why end that now? keep that going. And so I would love to see that keep pressing on, but I can see him winning as well. After Monday Night Raw on Netflix the other night and seeing the promo with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, I'm slowly starting to get convinced. I want to see that. I didn't before that promo. I didn't. Because I'm like, man, WrestleMania, man, I don't know. I don't want to see Cody versus Punk. But after that, after Raw, I was kind of sold. I was like, man, I would love to see this. I honestly would love to see this at WrestleMania. Now, will I be butthurt if it don't happen? No, no. Any combination will really work. Any combination will work. But for some strange reason, my head and my heart is kind of like, I think that's the smart play. But here's the thing. Trying to choose. You still have The Rock. You still have Dwayne Johnson looming around. Even though he kind of messed it all up at the premiere of Raw on Netflix, I didn't like that. I didn't like how he kind of switched it. And it took all of the excitement out of him going after Cody. But if he can turn it and come in and kind of cost Cody Rhodes the championship or something to that effect, that can play a part in the WrestleMania main event. Also, you have John Cena. John Cena, who is returning for his final run in WWE. This is the year he is retiring this year. This is his final Royal Rumble. And God knows, as much as I respect John Cena, I never was a John Cena guy. I never was that guy that was like, man, John Cena is the man. Even though I know he was carrying the company, I just never was a huge fan of John Cena. But I respect him. And I respect, I guess, when something goes away, what's that old saying? If you love something, let it go. And if it is truly meant for you, it'll come back again. It's kind of like that. I loved him, but after we let him go, after he was off in Hollywood making movies and TV shows and all that good stuff, I started missing him. You started missing him. And now that he's back, I would love to see him get that 17th. I would love to see him break Ric Flair's record and get the 17th championship. Will it be at WrestleMania? I don't know. I really don't want to see that. To be that I don't want to see, even though I would love to see him get that record, but I don't want to see him win the Royal Rumble. Even though I know this is his last, but I just want him to be relevant in the match. I want him to last a little while, and put on a good showing. But ultimately, I don't see him winning it. Jey Uso, I know they call him main event Jey Uso, but Jey Uso isn't it. He is not the guy. He's not the guy. Yeah. And then you had the Sami Zayn of it all. Sami Zayn being pushed the way he's pushed right now with the quote unquote accidental Halula kicks on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Is he going to play a part going forward as far as WrestleMania and the championship? Who knows? And of course, there's the 15 other guys who haven't declared that we don't know who are going to pop up in this match. Will we get a say his name and he will appear? Will we get Joe Hendry? I would love to see that. Even I'm not saying win it, but see him pop up in this match. Will we see some oldies but goodies pop up in this match? I can't name any right now off the top of my head, but will they play a factor in WrestleMania plans? Who knows? I don't know. But going off of the names that have been declared already, my pick to win the men's Royal Rumble match at this year's this year's Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania, I think I'm going to go with CM Punk. I think CM Punk will come out victorious in this Royal Rumble match. I'm telling y'all, before Raw, I was all in on Drew McIntyre. All in. But it's something about that Raw promo with him and Cody convinced me that Punk might win this thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But with that being said, watch Punk get eliminated like the first 5 people. Something stupid like that. But that's my pick for the men's Royal Rumble. Let's move on to the women's Royal Rumble match, where out of the 30 entries, 10 have been declared already. And the 10 that have been declared is Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair returns at WrestleMania. I keep saying WrestleMania. At the Royal Rumble, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyrie, Ivy Now, and Io Sky have declared for the Royal Rumble. I don't know out of these. I guess my head tells me Charlotte Flair, but I don't want Charlotte Flair to win the Rumble. But in my heart, I know it's going to be Charlotte Flair. This is the one thing that's predictable is Charlotte Flair. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. And it's nothing against Charlotte Flair. It's nothing against Charlotte Flair. I would love to see somebody else. You know, I would love to see somebody else. I would love to see, her name isn't listed here, but we know, if you're in the know with the wrestling community and whatnot, pro wrestling community, that Jordynne Grace, formerly of TNA, she has signed with the WWE. It's pretty much solidified she'll be in the Rumble. I would love to see Jordynne Grace pop up and win the Rumble. I would love to see somebody from NXT, and that's also for the men. I can see some men NXT entries, you know, Trick Williams and Ethan Page, stuff like that. I can see them doing that, but I don't think they're going to make a big impact. But in the women, I can see a Roxanne Perez coming into the women's Royal Rumble and winning, and actually winning. You know, I can see maybe I was about to say I was I was about to say Julia, but Julia just won a championship. I don't think she's going to do. Maybe well, no. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know who's going to pop up in this match. Will Becky Lynch return in this match? You know, we know that she is back. She did, I think, resign. I think I read that report. And so will she return in this match and win it? Once again, don't really want to see it. I want to see some fresh talent in the women's. I know in the men's, it seemed kind of hypocritical, but not really, because I enjoy the women's more. And I want to see the women, the young women, get a better shot. You know, the women are finally getting their just due. They finally got a mid-card title. They got the Intercontinental title for the women's. They have the United States title for the women. So that's great. I love to see that. You know, I just want to see more women get involved and actually, you know, step up some. You know, the 4 horsewomen, you know, Bayley and Charlotte Flair and I'm about to say Bianca, but Becky Lynch. You know, we've been there. All of them have Hall of Fame careers already. If those 3 women walk away right now, they are first ballot Hall of Famers. But I want to see the others. But my dark horse pick to win will be Io Sky. If I had to pick somebody, it'll be Io Sky. Even though she won before, if I'm not mistaken. I think she won before. No, I'm thinking of Asuka. I'm thinking of Asuka. And I think Asuka might return in this match. I think she finally will return in this match. But I think Io Sky will win the women's Royal Rumble match. But that's one man's opinion. Let's move on to the other match of the night, the championship match, at least the championship for the tag team titles. in a 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. Once again, just to reiterate, love that the WWE has rededicated themselves to the tag team division. We are getting some good tag team uh matches and storylines over the past couple of months. Really been enjoying that. Motor City Machine Guns have been a pleasant surprise. I never watched them in TNA, and so I didn't know what to expect of them when they came over to WWE. And I was like, man, these dudes are awesome. These dudes are fire. And DIY, been watching them since back in the NXT days when they were just tearing down those takeover shows. Oh my God, it was amazing. They tried to split those two up, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and they did. Had some moderate success as singles, but they're much better as a tag team, and I'm absolutely loving what I see out of this tag team matchup. In them in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Oh my God, if it wasn't for the Royal Rumble matches themselves, this may be the banger of the night. It might still be the banger of the night over the the Royal Rumble matches. It has a strong possibility of doing that, and I can't wait to see this. I think I'm more excited for this than anything, and that's saying a lot because this is my favorite event. And so we'll see. But my prediction, the winner of this match will be DIY. And the reason I say DIY will retain is because the story has been so great. With DIY being these heels who pretty much orchestrating these attacks. They orchestrated the attack on the Street Profits, and they got Pretty Deadly on their side, and it's just a lot going on. And the only way this can work, the only way this story can work, how they're just running through this division, is for them to retain the title. So I'm gonna go with DIY retaining against Pretty Deadly, Motor City Machine Guns. So that leaves us to our ladder match for the undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Oh man, this really stinks because I would love to see Kevin Owens win this match, and it's not because I don't like Cody. I just love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is one of my favorites. I'm a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan, and he's the closest thing to Stone Cold that we've gotten since Stone Cold drunk his last beer in the ring. And so I've been I've been a big fan of Kevin Owens, and I'm loving this little storyline. Once again, this is another story that is linked to Roman Reigns. It all stems from Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens were friends. Cody Rhodes teamed up with Roman Reigns at Bad Blood at that Premium Live event a couple of months ago and helped Roman Reigns defeat the New Bloodline. In doing that, that angered Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens, like, how can you team up with this guy who has, made my life a living hell for years? You supposed to be my friend. You supposed to have my back, and you pretty much stabbed me in it by teaming up with him. And that's where all of this has come from. They had that match at Saturday Night Main Event, which was an awesome match, I must say. And Cody came out on top, but Cody came out on top with some kind of a heelish type moves there. It wasn't a clean victory. He came out using the chair and whatnot and defeated Kevin Owens, which angered Kevin Owens, and that's how he stole the Winged Eagle belt, and that's how we got these two belts involved in this ladder match. So it's been a nice back and forth between the two. I love the promo work. I love the build to this match. Ultimately, if this was taking place Any other time of the year, I will go with Kevin Owens. But being as though we're so close to WrestleMania, I think Cody Rhodes will retain. You're not going to give the belt to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in that fashion, the way it happened last year, only for him to lose it right before the next WrestleMania. If you was going to take it off of Cody, you should have took it off of Cody 2 months ago or something like that. Not now. That way Cody would have had time to get it back to go to WrestleMania as the champion. But it's so close to WrestleMania. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger right now. But in this new era, anything is possible. I would it wouldn't be like a super shock if they did it, but I don't think they have the cojones to pull that trigger. But hey, we can only wait and see. And so just to reiterate, my predictions for these 4 matches in the men's Royal Rumble match, I have CM Punk winning. For the women's Royal Rumble match, I have Io Sky in kind of a shocker winning that match. The tag team title match between DIY and Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match, I have DIY retaining their championship, and in the undisputed WWE championship match, in a ladder match, I must say, I have Cody Rhodes retaining. Now, with that being said, it's kind of weird that both of the championship matches are where I have both champions retaining. I don't think that just didn't come out right. It don't sound right. I may need to switch something up. Nah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna stick with it because I'll be fighting back and forth with myself for the next few days until the Royal Rumble. But I'm gonna stick with my picks. But this can go either way. Basically, this is for fun anyway. But it really doesn't matter. I have no dog in this race. I have I have no money on the line here. So either way it goes, I'm happy. I'm just hoping for a good premium live event in all 4 matches, and I'm fairly confident that we're going to get it. I would love to know your prediction for these 4 matches. Who do you think will win the men's? Who do you think will win the women's? Who will come out the undisputed WWE champion, and who will win the WWE Tag Team Championships? You can let me know by email. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also leave comments on all my social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. And also on YouTube, you can comment there as well. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video while you're at it. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to Faces and Heels, your podcast for professional wrestling here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this prediction show for 2025's the 38th annual Royal Rumble. I cannot wait to speak to you after to discuss everything I got wrong in this prediction show. Everybody, you be well, be blessed, and I'll speak to you on the other side.